Hey YouTubers, it's me, Monkeydragon here, helping all your green goblins out there. Well anyways guys, I got a search and destroy tips and tricks commentary over some search and destroy gameplay. And with that, let's begin! This commentary, or tips and tricks, whatever you want to call it, is going to contain, classes and score streaks. Just my personal opinion. Feel free to change anything. Just because I say good for me, doesn't mean it's going to be good for you. So with that, let's go ahead and begin. My three best attachments are Suppressor, Millimeter Scanner, and Stock. And I'm going to kind of get a little more depth in these and maybe explain it, and maybe win your opinion to why they're a good and valuable option. So with that, let's start with the Suppressor. Suppressor, obviously, because if you're trying to clutch, if you're running an unsuppressed weapon, the enemy team's going to know where you are and just take you out before you even have a chance. Same even if you're not trying to clutch or you're just an average player and you get one kill, you really don't want to alert the enemy team to knowing where you are, and then they kill you. It's really good to stay off that minimap because one life is so important because that's all you got to search and destroy. Okay, so let's move on to the MMS, or the Millimeter Scanner, whatever you want to call it. I'll talk about the reticle, and then I'll actually talk about the functionality of the attachment itself. The reticle is awesome for me. I find that the small dot, or the medium-sized dot in the center, allows me to stay on target without me losing targets at long range. And the fact that it's clear around the dot allows me to make those micro adjustments and everything else so that I don't, once again, lose it. It's not clouded. And the actual T's and X's, or whatever it is, you know what I'm talking about, the T around the sight, is really good at me making those little adjustments like, okay, he's right there, I know where I'm supposed to go here. It makes me aim really well. Secondly, the field of view. It is awesome, because when you zoom in, you barely zoom in. Joining a little teabag there. The field of view is awesome, because when you zoom in, you don't really lose anything. You barely zoom in, if any at all. Pay attention when I do zoom in, and you'll barely notice the difference. And that's what I love. So when you zoom in, and you're trying to watch multiple doorways, you're not going to lose any doorway. You're like, do I have to look back here, look back here, look back here? It's free and clear. If you zoom in, you're going to be able to see all the doorways that you want to be able to see. And that's what I love about it. It allows me to watch multiple positions of the battlefield. And that's what's wonderful about it. And secondly, in Search and Destroy, well, actually, let's get into the actual functionality of the attachment, sync through walls and stuff. In normal game modes, it's not that great, because people move around and you lose it within the ping. But in Search and Destroy, there's a lot of campers, a lot of people who don't move and that kind of stuff. So for the people who camp, you can see right through the wall and see them. Granted, if they have the one attachment, Cold Blood or whatever the hell it is, you're not going to be able to see them, but more than likely or not, people aren't going to be running that attachment. So you'll be good anyways. It'll help you out. Not saying that it'll, save your life a bunch of times, but it helps me out sometimes. And it's a really good combination when you're running stock, so if you're aiming down sight, you're like, I think this guy's in the building. If you have stock on, aiming down sight with it, and he's not running cold-blooded, you're able to see these guys easily. Stock is a major help. And secondly reason, besides the Millimeter Scanner, for running stock, is stock helps you round those corners, or strafe, or just get out of firefights easily and effortlessly. Because you want to stay moving, you want to make yourself a harder target for the enemy to kill you, because now you're a harder target, you're not easy to kill, you're going to kill the entire enemy team. That's awesome. Okay, so let's actually move on to perks. My first perk choice is Flat Jacket, because people use a lot of equipment, RPGs, C4s, all that kind of stuff. And I find that Flat Jacket is a must in Search and Destroy, in any objective-based gameplay that you play. Ghost, I personally figured it this way. I play in a full party, and we're not planning to let the enemy team get the 4 kills or whatever it takes to get a UAV on us. We're not going to let them get that. So I don't plan to use Ghost. And if I do, I use it to my advantage, in the sense that I'll go into a wide open area with minimal cover, so that when these guys lean out to try to find me, like, okay, here's a ping on the radar, I'm already waiting for him, and I take him out. So yeah, let's move on to the second perk. The second perk choice, in the actual perk slots, I don't have any. I don't like any of them for Search and Destroy. Toughness, I don't plan to do it. I run single fire weapons, so yeah, I find that, toughness isn't going to help me a lot. Scavenger, obviously, because I'm not planning to run out of my bullets. I have plenty of bullets, enough to handle, a full team. And the counter UAV and the other 2 perks, Fast Hands, not really going to need them. So I'd rather use it for a Claymore. I'd rather use that slot for a Claymore. That's my preferred position for the second perk slot. No perk at all. I'd rather run a Claymore, Bouncing Betty, or whatever equipment you want to run. For the third perk slot, I prefer to run Tactical Mask and Hacker. Hacker? I I forget what it is. But you know, engineer, there you go. I prefer tactical mask and engineer. Those two perks combined are awesome because if people are stunning you, it's not going to affect you. And if they stun you, they're going to think, okay, this guy's stunned, I'm going to round the corner and kill him. Nah, you're good. You're going to be able to kill this guy easy. People make that stupid assumption all the time. And the reason why you're like, wait a second, if they're even running shock charges or something, why do I still want to run engineer? I can get right by it. So you can avoid it and sneak around behind them. And you know what buildings they're in. If you see a building lit up with C4, you know, bouncing Betty, shock charges, all that stuff, you're going to know there's an enemy in there. And kind of plan for it. You can use your, you know, millimeter scanner to say, okay, he's in this corner. Let's go get that guy. Really awesome. You got to use it that kind of way. Think ahead a little bit. So, yeah. Don't forget, you're free to change stuff up if you want to rush in class or whatever. But this is just what works for me. Change what you want. It's your game. Enjoy it your way you want. So let's go and move on to Scorestreaks. For me personally, the only ones I find valuable, or any one that is even a decent option, is actually UAV, Hunter Killer, and Counter UAV is somewhat decent if you want to run it, go ahead. But Hellstorm Missile. Those are the only ones you need. Those are the only ones you want to use. Because solely anything higher is a little bit stretching it if you're going to do good. Because not every single time you're going to do good. You want these low-end ones because, hey, if you're not doing so well, you can still get a UAV. That helps you out a lot. And the reason why you want the Hellstorm and not the Lightning Strike, and you guys are thinking, well, the Lightning Strike, I can just put it and then it'll go straight down. But the Lightning Strike only really works in objective-based game mode. If you're like, oh, they're taking it to B-Dom. Go ahead and put the Lightning Strike on there. But you're playing Search and Destroy. You don't know where the enemies are. So the Hellstorm Missile, you can call it and be like, okay, here they are, and take out a group. That's why I prefer it. Other game modes, Lightning Strike the best. But Hellstorm beats it, you know, for Search and Destroy. You need Hellstorm in here. I know I'm not currently running it here. I didn't buy it yet. That was my problem. So, yeah, Hellstorm Missile, for me personally, this is what I run. UAV, Hunter Killer, and Hellstorm Missile. That's what I find works for me. Maybe it'll work for you. Let's move on to weapons, and this is the same thing I say to all the people. I prefer accurate weapons for Search and Destroy, because I find that people try to take other people out at very far ranges. So people trying to run around with pistols or knives or submachine guns trying to hit fire don't have the chance. So that these guys run sniper rifles, long-range assault rifles with high accuracy, or the submachine guns with high accuracy, and just take them out. And it's really, really easy that way. So I prefer to use an accurate submachine gun. I don't try to hip fire or anything like that. But if it works for you and you can do it, then go ahead and do it. If you feel sniper rifles work for you, then do it. But this is what I have to say. Don't use something that doesn't work for you. In this sense. If in Search and Destroy, you go, let's say, 2 and 4 in Search and Destroy with a sniper rifle. But while using an assault rifle, you average like a 6 and 2 game. Then go ahead and use the assault rifle. I'm not saying to go try hard or whatever, but do what best works for you. Because if you go into the game saying, oh, you're a punk because you're using a submachine gun and you're using a sniper rifle, it's kind of your fault, man. You should have obviously knew that they were going to keep on using a submachine gun and switch your class. So that's what I'm going to advise to you guys. Is you don't have to go try hard, but do your best work. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys. Don't limit yourself. Don't say, okay, I'm going to run a knife only, and then complain because these guys are using submachine guns, assault rifles, sniper rifles, all that stuff. Do what works best for you, but don't limit yourself on which capabilities that you have. And this is going to be kind of my last tip that I have for you guys, is to actually have a backup class. Because even though you may have one go-to class in Search and Destroy, and it may be your best one yet, not every single game is going to be like the next. So if you have one for an assault rifle, you know, you're trying to keep those guys at far ranges, but not every single game you're going to be able to keep them at far ranges. Sometimes they're going to be at close quarters. So have a submachine gun class backing you up. Always kind of have a backup class. If they're not using tacticals or anything else and you want to run this class, then go ahead and do that. If you're not running Flat Jacket or Tactical Mask or anything, have a backup class like that, just in case you run into a bunch of people, you know, using C4, RPGs, flashbang, concussions, all that stuff. Have a backup class. That's my best advice that I can give to you. If you're not going to listen to anything else, listen to that. Have a backup class for different situations. You don't have to make 6 classes, just make 2, maybe 3. You know, one with Flat Jacket, one with Tactical Mask, one that you really like, and the third is like your super tryhard class. You put on your tryhard pants and you're ready to rock. Just kind of have that as backup. So, anyways, guys, that's all I really got for you for Search and Destroy. That's kind of all the advice I can give you. Trying to give you all the tools that I can do. So, anyways, guys, so we reached the end of this video. We reached the end of my commentary. So, with that, so like the video if you liked it, or if you found it helpful. Subscribe to me if you want to see more of my videos. And don't forget to tell your friends about me. And if you want to stay updated on all my videos and everything that I'm doing, follow me on Twitter. It's at xXMonkeyDragon. A link to it will be in the description. I'm Monkeydragon. That's all I got, guys. Peace.